A boy stands in front of a train he has not decided to board. He is filled with awe. He is also filled with suspicion. The whistle goes up, the brakes let go, and the cars begin to move without him. He watches it start to pass. For one long moment, the safe thing has won. Then he runs. He does not board that train because anyone has convinced him. He boards it because he decides to. That difference is the whole story of the song that plays after the film ends. Choosing hope is an act of will that overcomes doubt, not optimism, not a temperament some people are lucky enough to be born with, not a wish that quietly manufactures its own fulfillment. Hope chosen is stronger than optimism, because optimism expects a good outcome and hope chosen does not require one. It is intentional faith, a reach for an anchor in the dark, made against the evidence and known to be right anyway. Robert Zemeckis directed The Polar Express in 2004, adapting Chris Van Allsburg's 1985 picture book into the three-dimensional performance capture. The film follows a skeptical boy on a journey to the North Pole. It was nearly finished when Zemeckis realized it had no theme. Not a melody problem, a meaning problem. He was not looking for something light and pretty built around a shiny bell. He wanted a piece with real psychological weight, and he wanted it late. Alan Silvestri, who had already written Back to the Future and Forrest Gump, had scored a recurring motif into the film. He took that motif to Glenn Ballard, and the two of them built a song out of it. What came out of that scramble was Believe, sung by Josh Groban over the end credits. Groban's second album, Closer, had climbed to #1 on the Billboard 200 the previous January. The single went out on the 2nd of November 2004. It reached #1 on the adult contemporary chart that December. The late edition did better than anyone had planned for. An Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song, a Golden Globe nomination, which it lost. Groban sang it at the Oscars with Beyoncé, and in February of 2006, the Grammy for Best Song Written for Visual Media went to Ballard and Silvestri. There is an older story about the same problem. In the Gospel of John, Thomas will not believe until he sees. He wants the wounds. He wants to put his hand in them. He earned his nickname from that demand, and it has followed him for 2,000 years. The original case of seeing is believing. Caravaggio painted the moment around 1601. Three men lean in. One of them is guiding Thomas's finger into his own side. Nobody in that painting looks reverent. They look like men solving a problem. The boy on the train is a doubting Thomas figure, and he stays one for most of the film. He keeps doubting. He also keeps taking small steps towards the thing he doubts. The turn comes in the North Pole Square, when Santa arrives and the boy picks up a bell that has fallen loose from the sleigh. He shakes it. Nothing. He shakes it again, and what he hears instead is a whisper naming him Doubter. Then he closes his eyes. He stops asking for proof. He decides. He shakes the bell once more, and it rings. Which is the reversal? Thomas needed the evidence in order to believe. The boy needed to believe in order to get the evidence. The film puts belief first and proof second, and it does this in a children's story in a town square with a bell. The boy does what Thomas could not. Believe is a slow ballad that opens like a music box. Verse, chorus, verse, extended chorus, coda. 4 minutes and 18 seconds, scored for full symphony orchestra. The opening melody is not new to the listener. It is the film's central motif, which has been running instrumentally underneath the story from the first scene onward, including the closing one, where the boy confirms what he has already decided. Here's the part that gets overlooked. The full song, with Groban's vocal, never plays inside the film at all. It arrives after the story is over. It does not move the boy's plot 1 inch, because the boy's plot is finished. The song is not aimed at him. It is aimed at you. The first chorus opens with an orchestral swell and an ascending stepwise bass line, each rising note in the bass working like another stair climbed. The second verse drops back into the dreamlike register of the first, calling up locomotives and ships moving through darkness towards destinations they cannot yet see. Then the extended chorus arrives, and with it, the highest note in the song. That note appears exactly once in the first chorus, on the word if. In the extended chorus, it sounds 3 times in succession, at full orchestration, hitting the same peak again and again. The melody is given no escape route. It will not step down, and it will not move on. It strikes the ceiling, and strikes it, and strikes it. Music that repeats a peak that way is not describing a decision. It is asking for one. And then the song does something with language that is easy to miss and hard to unhear once you have heard it. The word believe appears 11 times across 4 minutes. In the first chorus, it lives inside a conditional, if, a hypothetical offered with the door left open. By the end of the song, the conditional is gone. The last 3 iterations are imperative. Just believe. The if has become a command, and the grammar has changed underneath the listener while the orchestra was busy being beautiful. Just plus a verb is one of the oldest constructions in advertising. It is built to move a person past deliberation and into action, and it works by making the action sound smaller than it is, which means the song is not only about a boy who chose, it is a piece of persuasion aimed outward at the audience at the end of a film about belief. If you have not decided by the time the peak arrives, the song decides for you. By the end of the credits, the boy and the audience have arrived at the same place by different routes. The bell slips through the hole in his pocket. The proof is gone. The evidence he waited for and finally earned does not stay, and it was never what he was actually after. Belief outlasts proof. That is the paradox the film leaves on the table, and the one the song presses into your hands. We only need to remember how to listen.